Welcome to Cooldown, a gaming podcast where three gamer friends talk about their experiences and perspectives on various gaming topics and events. Listen in on our EXP podcast episodes where we share our gaming experiences to each other.
While most of our episodes will be about our own experiences, we'll be discussing other things such as our hot takes on pressing issues in a segment called Hotkeys. We'll also have Upkeep, where we keep up with the latest gaming news, and LFG for our personal game recommendations. There's more in the works, so stick with us. As for who we are, well...
Hey guys, Franz here. I'm the admin and streamer from Neutral Gaming, and my friends from the gaming and esports industries call me Neutral, so you can call me Neut for short. One of my favorite games of all time is Final Fantasy Tactics. It first came out for the PlayStation 1 in 1997, but don't play that version. Instead, play the War of the Lions remastered version for the PlayStation Portable. If you don't have a PSP lying around, you can also get the game on the iOS or Google Play Store, so you can play this game with your smartphone anytime you want. Aside from being a big fan of turn-based tactics games, what I admired a lot from War of the Lions is its political story, full of twists and turns and webs of lies that our heroes get caught in, only to use their own strengths to change the course of the overarching plot in their own volition. While we haven't seen a new tactics game in a while, we're soon getting a spiritual successor to War of the Lions. It's called Project Triangle Strategy, arriving on the Nintendo Switch this 2022, and it's my most anticipated Nintendo Switch release of 2022. As for the first game that I've ever played, well, that's gonna be Super Mario World from the Super Nintendo. But actually, I've never played that game using an actual SNES. Instead, I played that game using an emulator on the PC. And in fact, a lot of my early gaming years as a child was defined by a lot of SNES, NES, Sega, and arcade games that were emulated on the PC. So, growing up, I grew to appreciate a lot of retro games. Nowadays, I've been trying to clear my backlog of single-player games, especially the ones that were released for the PS4. So, from all of the PlayStation consoles, from the PS1 to the PS5, PS4 was the only console that I skipped. And now that I have a PS5, it's time for me to play all of those PS4 exclusives that I missed out during the past generation of consoles. So, the next game that I'll be playing probably is Final Fantasy 15 or Persona 5 Royal, and I'm really excited to get my hands on those games soon.
Hey there, I'm Q, though I usually go by Nia or Iridel online. Video games have been a huge part of my life for as long as I can remember. I think the first games I ever played were emulated NES games running on my cousin's PS1, and the first game I remember finishing was Super Mario Land on a Game Boy Color. From there, my exposure to video games only grew thanks to my family picking up a GBA and eventually a PS1 and a PS2. My siblings and I played a lot of Pepsi Man, Tenchu, and Metal Gear growing up. Towards the end of my primary school life, I remember spending my afternoons playing Ratchet & Clank, the Sly Cooper series, Pokemon, and Disgaea, among other things. And when I got into high school, I was introduced to the world of LAN and online games. I spent many an evening with my friends, cooped up in a LAN cafe playing League of Legends, CS 1.6, Left 4 Dead, or Dragon Nest. It was that exposure to all those different genres growing up that really defined my taste in gaming to this day. While I really enjoy single-player experiences I can really sink my teeth into, games like Dark Souls, Fire Emblem, or Dishonored, with a healthy dose of roguelikes on the side, I can't help but find myself wanting for a co-op or PvP experience like Vermintide 2, Dota, or Apex Legends, which are my current constants.
Heya, I'm Calorie everywhere online, and you can call me Cal for short. I've been playing video games for as long as I can remember, with my first game being Warcraft 2. Not that I really knew how to play it well, but I grew up on PC games, stuff like SimCity, Age of Mythology, Ragnarok Online, and so on. Sometime in high school, I got really into anime, and then eventually stumbled upon the movie Advent Children. I was so blown away by the animation that I did a deep dive into Final Fantasy. I found out it was a whole series of games, and had a friend who lent me a copy of FF7 and taught me how to install an emulator. With it, I had found what is still my favorite video game of all time, and a newfound love for RPGs. Since then, I've fallen in love with so many other franchises, BioWare RPGs such as Dragon Age and Mass Effect, and eventually, once I got myself a PlayStation, the Sony exclusives. I've also never let go of my love for grand strategy games, with my current favorite being Crusader Kings 3. Back in 2016 until 2018, I also religiously followed the Dota 2 and CSGO scenes, but I haven't been as active in esports as of late. Right now, my constant game is critically acclaimed MMORPG Final Fantasy XIV, which has been such a light for me in the past 3 years.
Catch our first episode this Friday at 8:30 p.m. PHT. We'll be talking about each of our top 5 game recommendations. Come tune in, you might just discover some cool games you haven't tried yet.
We'll also be inviting guests for some of our next episodes, so stay tuned for our announcements. We can't wait to go off Cooldown with you all later this week.